everybody, and welcome to Randomania for a Round 1 matchup in the Summer 2021 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. Races in this tournament will mostly be run with our standard flags, with all racers scheduled to compete each week. The tournament begins with a Swiss-style tournament format for 5 rounds. And those who finish with a winning record, along with maybe a few additional wildcard qualifiers, will advance to an elimination-style playoff bracket to determine this year's tournament champion. And in this first round of the Swiss section, matchups were determined from a random drawing. And due to the luck of the draw tonight, we have ourselves a heavyweight matchup between two grizzled veterans. It's brisulph versus Smashy. brisulph, one of the most underrated and overlooked players in the entire field, has beaten me plenty of times in pickup races, and winner of many multi-way events. Smashy, of course, is a perennial top 10 runner. Special thanks tonight to our tracker Angel FM and our restreamer Elmore St. James. And joining me tonight to catch us up on this throne room action is Ferran Burgundy. How's it going?
It's going fantastic here as our runner's already into the action. We're going to take a look here at this cave right by the castle. And while we have enemies here, I think this is going to be the mountain cave based on the movement here. And brisulph sees that there is a specter there, which is definitely not an early game enemy, and opts to get the heck out of there.
Yep, don't blame them. They're just trying to get set on where the zone boundaries are. One step east and a couple steps north, so we get a wolf, so that's a secondary zone. Smashy goes west into the desert, finds a scorpion, and note that they have pretty good strength starting out. So the scorpion, while surely with a critical hit, is going to jump him to level 3.
RNG favors the favorite. So we've got 4, 13, 8, and 5, plus a spell as 2 levels come there, and outside the 1 spell, slightly helpful.
Yeah, that's actually not such a big jump for 2 levels, since we only gained a few more strength points, but they're plenty strong enough to handle most of the nearby enemies. Note also for our viewers that brisulph is running a strength agility build, so his hit point totals will be different from Smashy's throughout the run, and in giving up a little bit of hit points at the end, he'll gain more agility towards the end, possibly to defense break and repel just a few more monsters.
Smashy gonna do a little bit of exploration here, or at least venturing outward. brisulph kind of playing things a little closer to the proverbial vest.
Yeah, one of the stronger stats, actually, these very early levels is agility, so I don't blame Smashy for trying to take an early look. He might be able to get away from some of the stronger enemies that he runs into with a decent agility score, and he's found a Magidrake. This will put him to level 4 if he's successful.
And indeed he is, and let's see what level 4 brings to the mix. 3 power, 5 speed, 1 hit point, 4 magic points, but we can heal more. Not enough MP to use it at Smashy's present state, but either a trip to an inn or a death wart back, and that'll reset to 2 heal more castings with 8 MP apiece.
Yeah, and 30 HP to be healed right now, so not the greatest spell, but it's certainly useful. And trying his hand at the Drakima here with that strength score, it's going to be close if he gets him on the next attack. Well, he's the king of criticals. Nice job. Early lead for Smashy with those critical hits. We see the western edge of the map, so some really early exploration being done by Smashy. brisulph taking the more traditional approach of finding the primary and secondary zones and sticking close to home here on the early enemies.
Bri decided to give the Drakima a try. The defense just a little low, and got hit for the perfect bit of 7 HP that was left, and a little trip back, but that's alright. Bri's now gonna give the mountain cave a go here. So there are 5 treasure chests in here. If he's able to make it through, and it turns out there's, a magic key or something in here, that would be advantageous, but Smashy following right in tow.
Oh, this is definitely the right play when you see that agility score up in the upper 20s and low 30s. You have a decent chance to run from some enemies such as the Spectre that brisulph ran into, and actually gets to the first chest already and is going downstairs.
So we have a fairy water, and ooh, well, there's an Axe Knight. We got a cursed belt down on the second floor, and Smashy, well, had the RNG early, but now is running into a little trouble with it. Bri gonna use the fairy water here. That does 9 to 16 hit points of damage used as an item, and is gonna get it here and get a little bit closer to a level. We've got some gold, not that there's anywhere to spend it just yet. There's another cursed belt, so 2 cursed belts here in the mountain cave.
Yeah, this is amazing. If he could actually manage to full clear the mountain cave, that's just something that he gets out of the way quickly. But he is doing his best to actually beat the Druins so that he can get himself a level in the process. No earth-shattering, Erdrick swords or magic keys found just yet, but certainly he'll end up getting out of here one way or the other with at least some gold.
And Bri opting to take this fight, and that has allowed Smashy, despite that death, to catch up here, and was able to get away from a gold man, picks up the other cursed belt, so we're pretty well even with the exception of difference in experience of about 16. That's just a scorpion, really.
brisulph goes ahead and takes advantage of the 1 heal more casting to put his HP from 8 up to 30. And he's going to try to get to that last chest. He's rounding the corner now, I believe. They are both able to navigate these caves in the dark. Here's the last little stretch. If he can turn to the north, he'll have all 5 chests in his first attempt at the cave. And it's the third cursed belt.
Wow! So all 3 cursed belts that are in the scene, so that means all of these search spots are going to be in play. The one in Cole, 4 steps south of the Baths, the one in Hawksness, guarded by an enemy, and the overworld search spot.
Yeah, that's really interesting to have that much information early on. You can potentially have situations later where you can entirely skip the grave, for example, because you know that what you need is going to be on the search spots. And brisulph taking the death warp, and unfortunately no keys to work with, but if you can look around for a town, each of those cursed belts, by the way, sells for 180 gold if you have an item shop in the town, and he also keeps half of his gold upon leaving the throne room here. So next priority would probably be to find a town if possible and upgrade some equipment.
Well, at this point, the only town that would not be to their favor would be Hawksness, as they, well, might fight an enemy like the Golem there, as it takes out brisulph. But even if they find Rimildar, well, that's where you can find keys, so they have the gold to certainly do so, even though that doesn't have an item shop to be able to sell those cursed belts. And any of the others, there are item shops, so that can give them a quick 540 gold.
Yeah, Smashy using healing strats to try and outlast the skeleton here, chipping away with 22 attack power, and I think he's going to get him unless it has some kind of healing spell up its sleeve here. Oh, but no, it has high HP.
Roll. Yeah.
And yeah, so every enemy spawns with a range of HP. There's a maximum, and then they can be at, slightly damaged to enter the fight. That one rolled pretty much near the maximum, and Smashy didn't quite get him on that last attack. That's too bad because he would have vaulted right up into the next level here. But unfortunately now he's still in level 4 with only 16 MP, leaving the throne room once again.
Yeah, the skeleton can have a max of 24. I wasn't keeping tally of how many hit points of damage was done, but it obviously was a little short of that. Angel, good point in chat, should have critted it, exactly.
Yep. If only that was controllable. You could like save it up, like the stars in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and just like use them like whenever you really need one.
Yes,
let's call McGrew. We need a new flag.
Well, I mean, they don't have a weapon, so technically it would be an uppercut, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, right now.
Oh, and brisulph finding, well, it's the Staff of Rain Cave, but just to the northeast of that is a town. And a Demon Knight back attacking, getting in the way. And not able to get out of the way. Oh,
wow, that is infuriating.
Knight, more like a Donkey Knight.
when you do have a little bit of gold to work with, it was so good to be able to get to that town. If it happens to be Rimmildar, like you said, there's no item shop there. So, you know, that's less keys that you might be able to buy. If it's any other town, though, he does have those curse belts that he can sell for money. So not the end of the world. I don't know if he's going to go straight back there. I think I would if I were him, but we will see.
Well, both of them are on the cusp of the next level, and Brian, notice here running away from the slimes. I mean, you're 3 and 4 experience your way respectively. Just get the level. For all you know, you could have Hurtmore at level 5, and you're off to the proverbial races.
Yes, absolutely. And they started off slightly differently in the first 2, 3, 4 minutes, but now they're kind of dead even again. The same things have been explored, and they're at basically even experience points. Brisulph just a couple steps away from the town again. This gold man, by the way, would drop a ton of gold, but it's a little bit risky. Oh!
It's Hawksness. Why would we expect anything else? The game is absolutely rubber banding early. Oh, but there's another town further to the north. Can he get away from Ruin Lord? Yes, he does.
Yeah, decent agility here. Ooh, but the Demon Knight, this is about 50-50. He does get away and finds the town of Cole. This is huge.
Meanwhile, level 5, 0, 0, 1, and 8, I believe.
Oh, this is amusing to me. If he doesn't find the sword in the spot, he'll have to make a really long walk around to the item shop to sell his belts, and then walk all the way back to get this hand axe.
Oh, there's an Erdrick's token.
So here comes the walk. I mean, it's totally worth it to get this hand axe, but this is really frustrating to have to make this much of a walk just for this purpose. But hey, you have the 3 cursed belts. You might as well take advantage of these resources. Go get yourself a weapon and get moving here.
Yeah, we know, but Bri doesn't, that with level 5 not having any strength or agility gains, that this is not a terrible play here to go and just get a little extra strength here.
Honestly, Ferran, I wouldn't even leave town. There's a Demon Knight right outside. He's risking it, and he avoids the encounter. I may have just walked all the way back around, honestly. Like, it's a disaster to actually sell your cursed belts and then lose the money. But, doesn't get the bad luck there. It's right back in, gets the hand axe.
Now, bad luck like that only seems to happen when he races Nest Cardinality. He is still salty about that all these years later.
Tell you what, they started off with some pretty good strength, but there hasn't been many gains. So this hand axe is very significant now. I believe it's something like plus 15 on your attack power, and he's about to level up and not get very much, as you mentioned a minute ago. So really, really good purchase. He could go back and fight the wolf that he saw in the secondary zone now fairly confidently, and Smashy cannot.
Yeah, I mean, the difference, that 37 attack power, not all in a row, but that giving him an attack range of 5 to 11 hit points on a wolf that can have up to 33, so, I mean, at best, he could 3-round it. At worst, probably more like 6 rounds, but he's got the heal mores, and I think he used up the herbs already. The Demon Knight, however, not so much, and he's not going to be able to get away. Bye, Brisulph. Hope you find
pretty good exploration of the map there. Covered some ground through the deserts. That town that he saw to the south was one that he'd already been to, I believe, right? So, but
yeah, I think that was Hawksness, just to the south of Cole.
I feel like now that he's back home and he has the weapon, now's the time to settle back into the grind that he was doing a minute ago and find some decent monsters near home. Fight the wolf. You don't have a lot of hit points right now to really be running into Demon Knights all over the map. You know, get a couple of more levels, but we'll see what happens. He's right now maybe heading into the west zone, but maybe he'll just keep on going. Yeah, as we mentioned, Smashy finds the green dragon. So right now with the 31 hit points, just you can even get one shot by some of these monsters still. So exploring way out onto the map right now is really pretty tricky.
Bri, you could have gone with heal more. Just go after it.
Oh, was that a wolf? He absolutely has to be fighting the wolf right now. That's the whole reason to get the hand axe. Oh my goodness, what's going on?
I mean, a Drakema is a little bit easier. He'll pretty much be able to two-shot it unless his rolls are near minimum. And that gets you 20. Maybe he figures that the Drakema is a more favorable battle, because he knows that a wolf, he'll have to go 3, well, more like 4, 5, possibly 6 rounds.
Yeah, tough thing about the wolf is they're damaging you pretty heavily, and like we said, we only have 30 hit points, so maybe he's worried about just getting 2-shot by a wolf right now. A little unfortunate because, see, I think he can defeat it. But yeah, opting for, like you said, the slightly smaller enemies. Scorpions and Drakeemas are both really valuable right now, and he's one of those enemies away from a level here. One Drakeema away.
Well, and just like that, I mean, it's back and forth, but Bry has retaken the experience lead by 8, and you can see just easier handling of enemies like these Scorpions.
I feel like just a second ago they were both fighting a Drakeema, and brisulph does 9 damage and Smashy does 4 damage. So it just shows you the significance right now of an early hand axe. But you have to convert that into victories, and he's running away from an awful lot of wolves, and so he's not extending the lead. They're both about to get a level 6 at the same time.
Oh, yeah, the difference here is we look at level 6, 5 power, 6 speed, 0 hit points, 3 magic points, and a spell of Repel, along with Radiant. But yeah, you're looking at a damage range difference of 2 to 4 for Smashy.
Oh, Repel is super
6 to
underrated.
12.
In this situation, Repel I find to be very useful. You want to sit in that zone right now and repel the Drakies and the Red Slimes or whatever might be mixed in with the Drakeemas and the Wolves, and you want to, you know, concentrate on those. 19 defense right now, just sheer agility score cut in half is your defense right now because they have no equipment. But 19 defense is enough to repel the very weak monsters, and it's actually pretty useful.
Oh, wow. Smashy finds a magic key in the bonus cave. Oh, wow. The Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, and that could be our TSN turning point.
Oh, the super early exploration strikes again. Doesn't sit back to grind and just goes out and looks for something, and he strikes gold. The key here.
Bry's not too far behind.
Yeah.
As he's going to get right in there.
Oh,
so
it's beautiful to see that.
Advantage is immediately negated.
Oh, I actually really like this. That means we're going to have a really nice close race here. Both runners with keys at the same time. Let's see what's in the treasury.
We have a dragon scale, we have gold, so there is a potential gold grind. We've got the Stones of Sunlight, that's one of the key items needed. And the big stick, Erdrick's sword.
Oh, that's why it was so important for both of them to get keys. If Smashy goes and this happens, and brisulph was sitting there grinding for another 10 minutes, oh, Smashy would have a huge advantage, but we're going to see brisulph get this done. Now, one thing that Smashy could have done, you can go back into this Stones of Sunlight cave to get multiple keys. I think he just used his only key, did he not? Or was there another key in the...
No, he did. There was not a key in the treasury. It was just that Smashy, right after getting the key, ran into a red dragon and death warped. Not by choice, but, you know, with the red dragon...
On the one step, like we were talking about, one step out of town to go back in, yeah.
I don't recall if it was that necessarily, but now brisulph is going to take the death here, and he does have multiple keys, so he could theoretically go open the back. He doesn't have enough to buy more keys, so he may just...
Well, all he needs is one extra.
There's one extra here, yeah, because there's gold here. So he'll be able to max out on keys. So that is an advantage that Bry will have that Smashy does not.
Oh, that's pretty nasty. I'm sure that Smashy did think to himself to get multiple keys there, and if he got... if he doesn't have keys right now, that's kind of something that he'll have to take care of that, you know, brisulph already has in the checkbox here. He's going to go get the keys right now. He'll be able to check the basement. Could be, you know, I don't know. There's all sorts of dungeons here that will be useful. You could go into the grave and find some quest items. So, yeah, this is good. brisulph stocking up on keys here. And Smashy is heading straight back towards where that Stones of Sunlight cave was, so I think he realizes he needs to grab more keys here. There we go.
Oh, of course. Now, Bry, meanwhile, is going to check the back of Tanagal, and we know it's a cave. He's just going to cast Radiant. I can't say as I blame him. It's the Swamp Cave's northern end.
Yeah, first he made it seem like he was going to go and check for the mini-boss. If you had Hurtmore, you would certainly want to go check, see if it's an Axe Knight, for example. But now he's going to just see maybe this backs into the backside of Garenham, for example, or, you know, you never know where it could go. Middle of nowhere, it
Somewhere
seems.
in the world, yep.
Oh, useful knowledge, and maybe next time that he's in there, he could check that tile once he's a little bit stronger. Always good to know what your grind options are early, and if there's some sort of an Axe Knight grind with Hurt More, you can do an early grind, or, you know, now he knows that if he needs the Princess, it's close to home, so good information. So Smashy had to kind of redouble his steps out to the Stone's Cave, so basically doing all the same things that brisulph did, just a minute or two later. Just playing a little catch up with exploration, but experience still kind of hanging on to a slight experience lead.
Yeah, that 67 attack power, that is certainly nice, as there's about 100 experience advantage here. A little less than now for Smashy, probably closer to, what would that be, 79? But it's now 59, so we'll see. And now here's a cave, and this has to be the tablet? Yeah.
So attack power has become more reasonable. I think the main challenge right now is the hit points are really still pretty unreasonable. So, you know, exploration is still very dangerous. Like something like this Droll Magi would normally be an easy victory with the Erdrick Sword, but you have to be careful of getting two-shot potentially in some cases. So, it's a little sketchy on pretty much every regular battle until they get more hit points. And brisulph, by the way, is on the Strength Agility build, so he'll have even less hit points on each level going forward here.
Yeah, we'll see in a moment here what the difference is as brisulph gets level 7. So we see 9 power, 4 hit points. So right now it's just 1 hit point, but as the seed goes on, the differential between the agility and hit points will spread out, as we see Bri has 1 more agility point than does Smashy, versus Smashy's 1 extra hit point to Bri's 34.
Yeah, you see right there, like 34 max, and he just ran into a Demon Knight that promptly does 33 damage to him in 1 hit, because neither of our runners has managed to purchase or acquire any sort of defensive equipment, so relying purely on the agility stat here and the dragon scale. Getting hit pretty hard by the later game monsters.
Alright, so Smashy now has found the tablet cave and is navigating it in the dark.
Oh, this is tablet cave in the dark? Wow.
This is
that's always impressive. I generally try not to do this.
Take the chest by taking the stairs. That doesn't quite work so well. I know, I've tried.
Gets the torch and doesn't even use it. Doesn't use the radiant spell that he has.
And does he have outside and just is forgetting to use it and holding on to the MP? Or
indeed.
is it just
Maybe he just doesn't...
on... oh no, he doesn't have enough. He has 5 and it costs 6.
Yeah, this is rough.
Here I thought this was just being a little swaggy on Smashy's part.
Well, he could have used radiant. That only costs 2. But yeah.
Well, that's where the swag came in. It's like, you know what? I know how to navigate in the dark. Doggone it, I'm gonna do it.
Save the torch for later. Double checks his stats. Yep, you still have Erdrick Sword and nothing else. And inching his way towards level 8, which is at 600 points even. This enemy will almost be enough, but not quite.
Yeah, Bri is catching up a little bit here, as it's now 555 to 601. It was just enough to get over that ledge here, so we got 6, 3, 4, and 8, plus a new spell of heal, and that is helpful considering the MP is not exactly ideal at level 8, only 37 MP.
In my defense, I could have sworn that Druid Lord gives 52 experience points, but I had it mixed up apparently with the Wolf Lord. So, indeed, the Druid Lord was enough for level 8, and so they both reached level 8 at about the same time. This is a very close race for a round. This is fantastic.
Exactly, non-Costco heal. Very well said, Seawolf. Yeah, and just like that, I mean, you can see the experience is pretty well neck and neck here. Is now Wolf Lords being encountered. Oh, but they have DL2 breath. They are spicy.
Yeah, we won't be able to survive a DL2 breath attack for a while, apparently, with the current HP totals in the 30s still at level 8. That's starting to become a problem, if it wasn't already. Agility is kind of reasonable. You can run from most enemies right now with 40 agility. Smashy going to take another trip to the key shop and into the basement. 39 hit points, though. That can cause some problems. We finally have some MP so that we can cast Heal More a few times, but as we see, brisulph quickly running out of resources. MP is a bit low for level 8. So yeah, stats are kind of lagging, which seems to be somewhat common with the newest build. You get some challenges with stats early and in the middle game, and then they all sort of come back to normal when it's almost ready for the Dragon Lord. So don't worry, these low stats don't mean we're going on level 20 necessarily, although it could still happen.
What is this normal of which you speak, Uncle
Yes, things...
It's a randomizer! There's no such thing as normal!
It's the new normal. Yeah, so very even. I guess brisulph's ahead by 100 points. They've been kind of going back and forth. These are really nice enemies that they're finding. Wolf Lords, Druid Lords, Joel Magi, it's definitely the sweet spot with this attack power and these other stats, you know, the HP that they're working with. They can't take on really strong monsters yet. Yeah, so those medium range monsters, as long as they don't have any abilities. Ooh, the Golem, though. Don't want to mess with that.
Bry doing a smart thing here, taking a look. I think there was a large shield. Yes, there is, and he's going to go for that to get an additional 10 defense. And that would be very helpful with the exploration.
Yeah, what's interesting, too, is so they have both seen some towns with some equipment. They also have both been into the mountain cave, and they both know that there's a gold grind available. You could just go and get some better equipment at any time right now. You just have to revisit the mountain cave and open a few chests. But neither one wants to take the couple of minutes to get that done, and they're just kind of going, you know, streaking right now, I guess.
I have no argument against it. No, humor aside, though, I think that they're looking for a... Oh, gosh. Well, brisulph sees that the Golem is the guardian at Hawksness, and, yeah, unless there's a fairy flute right about now, no chance of that happening. No, I think if they saw a silver shield, they may be more apt to do a gold grind, but since the large shield is the only one available...
I think that shop that brisulph was just at had the magic armor, though, right? I mean, that's not bad. But yeah, you're right. I think normally you're thinking silver shield if you're going to set up a grind. So yeah, both runners right now just feel like they're making plenty of progress despite the low HP, so who needs defense, right? What's a little bit interesting about that, too, is that you can cast Repel in this situation and not repel some of the monsters that maybe you want to fight, like that Metal Scorpion that popped up for Smashy, or the Joel Magi, or the Wolf Lord. You kind of want those monsters right now because with the hit points, you can't really fight the really big monsters. So maybe in some ways, if you get too much defense, then you wouldn't really be able to repel effectively, and I don't know.
That's also a fair point, but chat noticing, and I went back at the replay and looked, the full plate armor is in coal, as is the large shield, but the rest are weapons, which are a moot point now that they both have Erdrick's sword. The flame sword was in there, which was 9,800.
Ah, very good. Okay. Smashy doing another trip through grabbing, topping off keys and going back into this basement, which was Swamp Cave, right? So he just wants to go to the other side, continue exploring.
Swamp North, yeah.
Second continent. Nobody's checked the tile yet, since we can't reasonably beat anything without hurt more or a lot more HP. Although he is going to take a swing at an Axe Knight here. Was this the grind tile? Wait a minute.
No, he was just going straight down. Axe Knights are one of the encounterable enemies in the Swamp Cave. And I think that was just, well, I've got heal more. What the heck? Let me give it a try.
Okay, cool. And brisulph's going back in the direction of where he found those keys. Well, maybe there was more up here that he didn't get a chance to explore. So heading right in this direction.
I don't know if either of our runners really explored beyond that Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave that had the magic key.
Ooh, that was a little gambly. brisulph thought that he might be doing enough damage on that next attack, but he low-rolled it. The Magic Wyvern had more HP than average or whatever, and just, goes down swinging there. He had an opportunity, I believe, to heal more out of that situation, but just went for the attack. Just wasn't enough, so it goes back home.
Well, a nice power boost here at level 9, and brisulph should be able to find that out after this wolf here, as the experience differential pretty well even back and forth all along the way here. And the Axe Knight, not quite going to get it done even with that little extra bit there, as now 97 attack power.
Man, this is a really close race still. They're dead even almost on experience. Like you mentioned, a pretty nice strength boost there on that level, but everything else still pretty much lagging behind. We have a little bit more magic to work with, so 6 heal mores in total. But, yeah, so just the name of the game now is to see if you can figure out how to stay alive in some of these encounters, that you can round up the items just a little bit faster without continually being sent home. And then it turns out the Magic Wyvern has hurt, so brisulph does heal more at the right time this time and has a reasonable chance to win this fight. Looks like it might be a low percentage hurt, but it's still helpful to see the weak abilities on a strong monster.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Bry's hoping for that hurt spell to come, because without it, a melee attack on brisulph at this point from a Magic Wyvern will do about 15 to 30. And with a max HP of 39, you're not going to last too long.
Yeah, and it looks like there actually wasn't much left up here to explore, so somehow he didn't quite see the end of this little area before. And so he made another trip all the way back out here just to see a few extra tiles and confirm that it was a dead end. So now he's seen it, he's going to take an intentional death.
He's taking Death Warp here,
but unfortunately, that's kind of a lot of time that he spent just double-checking to see if there was anything else in this direction. So a little bit of a setback exploration-wise for brisulph, but now he knows, and he'll start going east from here, I assume. Or maybe through the swamp cave.
We'll go back through the cave. Well, we see
at the end of the first continent, Furon? I haven't watched too closely. Maybe it's a fairly small first continent, because Smashy keeps going through. So maybe that confirmed for brisulph that was the end of the first continent. Now he's going through.
Very likely is. Now here is... Oh, wait, is this where Cole was? Yes, it is. Okay. So Sherlock is just to the east of Cole on the first continent.
Yeah, Smashy had never picked up his token, so now he's following behind and grabs his second quest item. So that's all evened up now with brisulph, and he'll double check here for that large shield, but he doesn't have the money. I'll have to come back later for that. Using the swag door here to save a few seconds.
Oh, and then the NPC trolling.
Honestly, why do we still have NPCs in the randomizer for
mercy, another one get...
Oh, that one's the killer. If he goes in there towards the shop, you're just done.
I can hear Riot Guy yelling now at at some of those. There's a command in my channel, RYH. Are you kidding me? Get the bleep out of the way, you dumb little... Yeah, he kind of rants at some of the NPCs that get in the way.
Yeah, it's interesting now, Furon, though. Like, this is the play we saw brisulph do early on when he had a stack of cursed belts in his inventory. He went for the hand axe. But Smashy still has those cursed belts, so he's saved up enough to be able to get that large shield. So heads up play, he knew how much money he had, he saw the large shield there, picks up a few herbs, and he'll head straight back in, but he gets the encounter, but it's not a demon.
It's just a Drakey.
So large shield incoming for Smashy, he picked up a few extra items as well, so heads up play to get rid of those cursed belts, put them to good use at the shop.
So 10 extra defense. So you can see 1 point differential. Not really pressing, all things considered.
They're actually doing a good job of continuing to make progress on the map despite this really low HP. So fortunately, not seeing a whole lot of red dragons on the map or armored knights, and they're just able to survive the encounters that they're in. They have reasonable agility to get away, and so even like this demon knight, Smashy's actually gonna try it. Not so sure about that. The HP is
the
so
dodge.
low. It's really low HP. It's we'll continue to see deaths like that until we get some more HP.
I mean, I can understand the gamble of it because with a Demon Knight at this point, 97 attack, you're doing 16 to 32 damage on a Demon Knight that can have up to 38 HP. So unless you're really unlucky with the rolls, you're going to two-shot it. But it has one of the highest dodge rates of any of the enemies. So that's your catch-22 with it.
Oh, that drives me crazy. It's one of my most on my most annoying list for enemies, that Demon Knight. Right behind the Metal Slime.
I was gonna say right below the Metal Slime.
Had to get that one in. But anyways, yeah, we're still almost dead even. brisulph has about a 100-point lead. Both runners on level 9. I don't think anyone's really seen anything important that the other ones missed. Or even on quest items, still looking for the Silver Harp and the Erdrick's Armor. And Stone Man sends brisulph back in one punch here. So even with that large shield, we're still taking pretty good damage. Might want to get that full plate. Just saying, I don't know. They're walking straight by that mountain cave every time. But nope, got better things to do. We're going back out onto the map. Alright, I'm not sure we've seen this part of the world. Smashy has a town on his screen now. Not sure if he's already been here. Seems to be walking past it. Wait.
No, that is... I believe that's Hawksness, just looking at the layout.
I forgot about Hawksness.
Just to the north is Cole.
Yep, and still not time for Hawksness. Just don't have the hit points. Soon, though. Pretty soon, we're going to want to remember Hawksness. Remember, 3 cursed belts have been found already. There is something in Hawksness, for sure.
Now, that's right by the castle. Did Smashy take the long way around to find those?
That's one thing I'm never sure about on these broadcasts, is that, like, how to reconcile the mapping. Like, is it possibly a one-continent situation? You know, where you're coming a different direction, you're finding the same places? Yeah, I'm not sure. brisulph settling into his zone here and promptly finds the red dragon. He's pacing back and forth looking for something. I don't think that's what he was looking for.
I feel like brisulph went immediately to the east and found that, whereas Smashy, yeah, okay, so I see what happened. So yeah, now Smashy realizes, oh, this is all kind of around here. Alright, that makes a little bit more sense now. Bri went around that little water area, and that's where he had found the staff cave. Okay, so he went west, south, kind of looped around south of Tanager Castle, whereas Smashy kind of went north and around that way.
Yeah, so, I mean, Hawksness isn't too far away, right? So, at some point you have to consider, when are we going to be going in there to fight the Guardian? Mainly, I feel like if you happen to get a level where you get, like, maybe 20 or 25 more hit points, you have to go in, because you already have the sword, so you're dealing damage, and you have heal more. So, really all you need now is hit points, and you can fight, you know, most of the Guardians that would be there. If you get hurt more, then you definitely have to go check it out. So we'll see what level 10 brings.
Yeah, the runners are both close to 1,500 experience. That'll be the target number to get to level 10. And Bri is heading up to Garenham, which is a new town. And we've got a new town over on Smashy's side as well, here to the south.
With the ambush, puts him in a tough spot here. You pretty much have to run and pray, because healing out of that, you're just going to get put back in the danger zone on the next counterattack. He may not know that the Magic Wyvern actually has hurt sometimes. So he could have healed and made that a bit safer, but just doesn't have the information. But does get the Druid Lord on the way in, and this one is Breckenary.
Oh look, it's Breckenary.
Gonna
And there
look
was
for
much
chainmail.
rejoicing. Yay!
There is a chainmail, so good news. And he passes on the chainmail, but he's like, yeah, maybe I should get the chainmail. And there we go. Nice pickup. And in the back of Garenham is it's the grave, so some exploration happening. So what were in those chests in Garenham, Ferran?
Looks like it was the fighter's ring, the silver harp, and a torch.
Oh, so all 3 quest items in possession now for brisulph. This is one of those situations I was talking about. So he's got all the quest items for Ron. He has the Erdrick sword, and he has seen all 3 cursed belts. This is a place where you may want to gamble and just at least not dive the bottom of the grave. Maybe you quickly search these ones, but for sure something is going to be in all the search spots, and you've only seen one of them. So we haven't seen what's on the overworld spot, and we haven't seen what's in Hawksness. Guaranteed to have something. Could still be the flute. Could still be the necklace, but it also could be the armor, which is the last thing you really need. I don't know. Would you gamble here, or would you clear this cave?
With that knowledge of the 3 belts, I would probably dip out and not dive the rest of the grave here.
I think so. Unless this Garenham, is so far away that it's like, wow, I don't want to have to come all the way back here to do the grave,
Yeah,
so there's a little consideration. But, I mean, it's the perfect scenario where the cursed belt knowledge could really be helpful in just knowing for sure that you have to find Caitlin, and then eventually you have to get to Hawksness and be whatever the Guardian is. But yeah, he's going down into the deep levels here. And if he manages to clear this, he will have opened all of the chests, I believe. He saw the Stones Cave, saw Tablet Cave. Maybe, did he see Rimmeldar? Not sure. There's a chest in Rimmeldar.
He hasn't seen Rimmeldar, but we know that it's the magic key because Smashy went there.
Okay.
Smashy now getting the nice gains of level 10. Oh no. Here's the pitch. Aw, crap.
Well, I'm not going to see what's in the deep grave anyways, and yeah, I wouldn't be going back there anytime soon if I were him, and I don't think he will. It's time to go find Caitlin, which Smashy is in right now. And then at some point, I guess level 10 still doesn't give enough to go fight the Guardian. Level 10 with 40 hit points. Wow. That's pretty bad.
Or 39 in Bry's case because of the strength agility build.
But it's enough to make this treacherous walk 2 steps at a time, and we are going to get some coordinates here.
This is definitely not the kind of 2-step that most dancers want to do.
Indeed. Well, so what do we have here, Smashy? Are we really going to wait for this old man to take a step? I'm not so sure about this.
Well, it was a little beneficial, but let's see here. 14 south, 31 east.
Alright. I believe...
I think that's pretty countable.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe you have to go west and around a little water.
Yeah, you might have to loop around and perhaps kind of count south, but I think that it is rather countable.
Yeah, totally doable. Worst case, the princess is right in the basement, but unfortunately, we probably can't beat a Guardian right now. So yeah, might as well attempt to count this out. It's going to be one of the, it very well could be the armor, so might as well get it done.
Meanwhile, on brisulph's side, we have a gold grind going on. Now, the way that this works here is normally you take a chest and it disappears, but the programmers of the game, they only programmed up to 8 treasure chests to disappear at a time, and it kind of just banks them. But after the 8th chest, the game doesn't know what to do with them. So the 9th chest you can take over and over again. Now, what resets them is when you go to the overworld, as brisulph has done here. But if you're able to, in this case, take a death wart from an area and go back to the castle, you're not visiting the overworld, so you can just go and take the chests over and over again. And while heading on over to Cole here, Bry says, yeah, what the heck, I'll go ahead and trade in that harp for the Staff of Rain. So Bry has all the things necessary and can trade in for the Rainbow Drop. And yeah, he went for 6k just in case there was a snipe, and oh, there's a gold man.
So, yeah, kind of a cool note actually in chat is that after death warping, he was in the castle, decided to go into the basement first, topping off his keys on the way, and then checked out what the spike tile was in the swamp cave, which I'm not sure what it was. Maybe chat can inform us. So, because if you do that and you die, well, the gold grind is still in effect. Like you've never left the out onto the overworld, right? So then you can just die to the spike tile and then just go into the treasury to do your gold grinding. So kind of a nice play there by brisulph. There was a stone man apparently in the spike tile there, and among other things, we don't have the sleep spell in our arsenal either. So yeah, not a great situation to fight that fight yet, but coming soon, TM.
Oh, and the armor's on the overworld as Smashy finds it. Wow.
Yeah, so this is what I was saying before, is now when Smashy finds Garanham, he's not going to have to go into the grave at all, because that will be his last. The harp is in the Garanham chests, and so he'll just have everything then. So that's why I was wondering. It's unfortunate that brisulph kind of did things the other way, but maybe sometimes you gamble and just don't go into the dungeon when you know the search spots are all populated. But it would have still been a little bit of a gamble either way. So just in Smashy's case, he happened to find things in the other order. So when he does find Garanham, he'll be all set and he'll be able to skip the grave.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble. I mean, based on what we knew, a search spot had to have, well, two particular things. So do you gamble and presume that one of those that's in a chest is either the death necklace or the flute? Or do you go searching for the various things? And now Smashy, he's going to head here into Hawksness and try to take on the golem with the Erdrick's armor. Now, we know that it's either going to be the fairy flute, which is hilarious because the fairy flute is what puts the golem to sleep. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I guess he still doesn't have the harp, so he was hoping that there would be some way for him to defeat Hawksness enemies so that he doesn't have to explore anymore. If the harp was there, then he would just be done. But no, he has to go find Garanham. Fortunately for him, that he doesn't keep banging his head against the golem wall there. That's not gonna work.
And what a wall it is.
Yeah, and they don't have the flute in their possession at all, which would be pretty helpful in that situation. But yeah, they don't have it. The flute is one of those special items that can be in Sharlock. So there's 7 chests in Sharlock. At this point, it's pretty likely that it's actually in there. Could also be in the deep grave, but they're not going to go searching for it.
There's a 10% likelihood that the golem is guarding the fairy flute in Hawksness.
Yeah. I guess I think it's more like 50% because something has to be there. It's either the necklace or the flute at this point. But yeah, I mean, the flute can be in all of those various chests as well, is the other way of looking at it. So yeah, Fighter's Ring now. Smashy does find Garanham, Fighter's Ring, and Harp. So he is done. I'm not sure what he'd be coming back here for unless he needs to know if the Rainbow Drop Cave is here. And it's not. Maybe he wants to see if the Death Necklace is here in case he gets like 100 more hit points. What else are we looking for, Smashy? I'm not sure what we're doing in here.
Yeah, this is... I mean, maybe... You know what? Maybe Smashy is a completionist? I don't know.
To be fair, I'm not sure what else he can do right now because he can't beat any of the Guardians. So what is he grinding on right now? What is his grind?
As Monty Games makes a great point in chat, he's probably looking for the Fairy Flute to be able to defeat the Golem in Hawksness.
I guess that's a thing. If you can't grind on anything right now, it's a weird situation to be in grind and go, but there's no grind. It's because you have no hit points. So what are you actually doing? Like, you gotta go find an overworld spot with like wolf lords and droll magi? It's pretty dismal. So yeah, so while he's, kind of in limbo, he just figures, well, maybe I'll go search these chests, see if there is a death necklace or a flute, and just get experience on these small monsters that are in here. So I guess it's fine. And brisulph is... what does he still need to do? He's got to go get the coordinates from Cantlin.
He's got to find Cantlin. That's the challenge here, as we see gold in the midway chest of...
This is an alternate way to get to the bottom. I've never seen anyone go down here, so I'm learning something here.
Oh, he's just saying, he's just kind of waving the white flag here and just is putting the dragon scale on and saying, all right, I know I'm going to die, I'm just going to take it here.
Wait, so open the fourth chest, but not the fifth chest? What's going on here? These are
maybe
advanced
it's setting
rats.
up a gold grind? Oh, no, wait, he doesn't need to because he's got Erdrick's armor. And have we seen a silver shield yet?
Maybe he has.
Maybe
He's coming in here. Open 4 chests, but not 5. I don't know what's happening. Advanced strats. There was 3 chests opened in the town of Garenham as well, which contribute towards the glitch.
So it was 7 plus the 3 in the throne room. So yeah, the chest, the glitch was immediately activated upon the death.
Didn't have to go to the 4th chest. I don't know. Just wanted to see what was down there, I guess. But now he's grinding silver shield money to go along with his Erdrick's gear. So if there was one in Cantlin or whatever, that will add 10 more defense. Currently defense is fairly low. The agility stat was good, like on level 3 and 4, and it hasn't gained very much since then for Ren. We're still in the 40s.
Then it just grinded to a halt. I mean, it's at 52 with Bry's strength agility build.
Yeah, and something that brisulph didn't do, Smashy is going to save this gold here. So he has a destination in mind. If he happens to get sniped en route to the town, he can reset the game and just load it back up, load the file up with this 15,000 gold, and all is well. You obviously lose any experience that you would gain, but, if you really want to carry this gold somewhere and you don't want to lose half of it to the king reviving you, then saving can be a prudent play. And off he goes. It's a really weird spot for him because all Smashy needs right now is levels. So, how do you get these levels right now? That's the question.
I mean, Bry's basically in the same boat, but he's looking for the armor, and maybe he doesn't realize, oh, I found 3 cursed belts. I mean, maybe he's gambling that the item in the deep chest is the armor. But I mean, for all we know,
so the problem is he had already found he found the search spot in Cole, right? So there's only 2 search spots remaining, and he hasn't seen the necklace or the flute or the armor. So there's 3 possibilities for two searches. So he still feels like, well, I better go full clear everything. I would be like, I want to find these search spots, but I mean, he's here now. I guess he's just going to try and clear it.
Well, he also knows it's a bit of an ordeal to try to find Cantlin at this point, and I think he knows that there's a golem in Hawksness that he is definitely not ready for with 39 HP. So the treasure chests are probably his best bet in a very dubious way. And we see here that it is a torch, so whatever that other item is, it is in Sharlock Castle.
Yeah, what was the chest in Rimmildar when they finally found that? Was that...
Well, Rimmildar was a key.
Oh, there was a key. Alright, yeah, so... Yeah, the only chests remaining then are in Sharlock, so both the necklace and the flute have to be there, correct? So...
Correct, yeah, the Stones of Sunlight were in the Tanagel Treasury along with Erdrick's sword.
So we might still have a treasury check at the end if the stats line up in such a way that having the death necklace would be very beneficial. Then, as long as they've cleared everything else on the map and they know that the necklace is in there, they might dive at the end, factoring that math in, saying, like, I'm going to go get the necklace, and I'm going to equip it against the Dragon Lord, so... We may still see a Sharlock treasury check. We know that the necklace is in there somewhere. But, you know, for that to happen, like we said before, you need about 100 hit points.
Well, or it could be the flute. That's certainly a possibility as well.
If you just want to dig that out, just in case. Yeah. Oh, you're saying what might be in Hawksness. Yeah, we still don't know what's actually in Hawksness. One of those
items is in the chest, and the other is in Sharlock somewhere.
Correct.
That much we have confirmed, but we don't know which is which. That's the challenge.
And somehow they have to find a way to just get experience points right now. So brisulph's going to try a wizard. He currently has the full plate and the large shield, so but still getting two shot.
Oh,
still
no.
getting 2 shot. The HP is really rough. It's a really big challenge. You want to fight big monsters because they're worth more experience, but you're getting 2 shot. So what are you gonna do here? How are you gonna get experience? You can't fight the Hawksness Guardian. No progress can be made right now until you level up.
Now, I will say that on brisulph's part, that was very unfortunate, as the attack range on the wizard with the 62 defense was 12 to 24, and the wizard max roll. So that was just RNG giving the old twist between the legs to brisulph there.
As expected. And I believe Smashy just leveled up, and brisulph is just right behind him, so still super close with experience. brisulph has fallen just a little bit behind with exploration, still needs to get those coordinates and track down the armor. But fortunately, there's not really a good dedicated grind, so he's not really falling too far behind with experience while he's busy hunting around for the last thing. As soon as Smashy's able to get grinding on something, though, you're going to want to be also in grind and go, or you're going to fall way behind. So finding Caitlin in the next couple of minutes is really important for brisulph.
Now, you're absolutely right, chat. 39 HP at level 10.
Yeah, so at level 20, we'll be at 78 hit points, right? So is that going to be enough?
Is that how that works? Yeah. And you wonder why I didn't enter this thing.
Yeah, in many ways, I don't blame you, Farhan. I'm glad you're on this end of it, at least, you know, witnessing the pain and suffering and commenting on it.
I can certainly provide play-by-play of the action and also give out about the things that I don't like about it. Those are playing to my strengths, but when it comes to actually playing this game, no, I just couldn't.
Yeah, it's a weird seed right now. Smashy is absolutely in grind and go status, has the rainbow drop, can go into Sharlock if desired, has the best gear in the game, and this is all done in under an hour, which is nice, but it feels like he's not going to be done with the seed in an hour and a half, unless something changes pretty quickly, like on the next level. He did get a whole bunch of HP, I just didn't even realize that, so level 11 is kind of a breakout level. So yeah, maybe now he can find a grind spot. 67 HP, would you be going for golem grinding yet, Farhan? It's still a little low, but maybe more possible.
I don't know, because I mean, a golem at with that 76 defense would be hitting me for a range of 20... Oh, where the heck is it here? 20 to 41. I mean, there's still a large possibility of being 2-shot. I don't know if I would go for it here at level 11.
Like, Smashy seems like he's still looking for something. Like, where's he going right now? What's he looking for? Is he not seeing Sharlock for some reason? Is that possible that nobody's seen Sharlock? Because there's a Stone Man grind available right under the castle. Like, I think he could be doing that. Like, where's he going right now?
I'm not sure. I think what we've been discussing is kind of right in the mix here of where the heck is there a good spot to grind?
I think he's learning right now that the Stone Man grind is a real thing right now with 67 hit points. They don't hit quite as hard as the Golem. It's, you know, not the greatest grind overall, but in this situation, the Stone Man is sitting there under the castle in the Swamp Cave.
I mean, you can at least, if nothing else, be 3-shot at bet or at worst by the Stone Man. As with that 76 defense, thanks to the being equipped to the max, you're looking at a damage range of about 15 to 31. So with 67 HP, you can take 2 maximum hits and still survive.
Yeah, the HP gained on level 11 is a game changer. You gotta go find a dedicated grind now. On level 10, not so much. You gotta go fight rogue scorpions or whatever else you can find, you know, but right now, yeah, I'm not sure what he's looking for, but he doesn't have the return spell, I guess. I don't know, maybe we could death warp. Not sure what's happening, but I would probably be going to one of the grind tiles. Finds another Stone Man, so credit to him. He is fighting pretty big monsters along the way and making his way towards level 12. Just curious what all this wandering around is.
And in the process has quietly extended the experience lead to over 700.
And there's a death warp, possibly semi-intentional.
Exact.
Yep. And let's see if he goes. I don't think that Smashy did check this spike tile before, so he doesn't necessarily know there's a Stone Man there, but I think he's going to find out right now. So yeah, like, I think that Wizard Death may have been semi-intentional, just so that he could come back here and check this. And finally, brisulph is about to get his coordinates, so if he can get this done fairly quickly, he's already gotten himself his rainbow drop. So if he picks up this armor in the next minute or so, he'll be in grind and go. And then we're into that old, you know, one failed dive situation where he's within a few minutes of Smashy's lead. And, you know, see what happens with Charlock. You never know what Charlock holds here.
It is known as the Great Equalizer, that is for sure.
Alright, Smashy probably somewhat delighted to find the Stone Man grind here. I suppose he probably could also be beating an Axe Knight at this point. But yeah, and now let's see if he learns anything useful, such as Hurt More has just been learned. Of course, not that great for a Stone Man grind or a Golem grind. So we'll see. Got a little bit more HP. At some point, maybe you decide to go switch to the Golem grinds, but maybe not quite yet. Right now, he is sticking with the Stone Man. Didn't learn the sleep spell. Not sure if a lot of people actually use sleep strats on a Stone Man grind, but he's actually getting out of here. I think he's... Is he actually going to go for the Golem grind now? Curious.
Well, it's certainly a bold strategy, as with the current defense, you're looking at a damage range of 20 to 40 from the Golem.
brisulph
maybe
has
he's going
searched a couple of spots,
he's going to Charlock here to see what might be there, perhaps.
Okay, this is a fine play in many cases as well. Get a scouting report on the first couple of zones, maybe hurt more some monsters now that you have the hurt more spell. brisulph's been searching around in the forest here, and I don't think he has pulled up the armor yet. So possible issue with the count here for brisulph, unfortunately, but he gets the big HP gain. That'll be quite a relief while he wanders around looking for this thing. It looks like he may have given up on the count. Yeah, that lead has quickly extended to 1,000 points, so just like that. Did Smashy just put the rainbow drop down and then just leave? What's going on here? Does the rainbow drop leave your inventory when you do that? I'm not sure. He's freeing up a space.
I think it stays in the inventory, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
And Chad is confirming that and making me not sound like a fool. Well,
I see people
making me sound less
down.
like a fool than I usually do. I should clarify.
Is brisulph going back to Cantlin to recheck the coordinates? That's the question from chat. does seem to be wandering quite a bit out onto the map. Really unfortunate if you fail a count. It's pretty brutal. With these hit points, he could rescue the princess now. But, yeah, going back to Catelyn, maybe he... What? Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. And Smashy does decide to switch over now to the Golem grind with the maximum gear and the 72 hit points at his disposal. It'll be uncommon for him to get two-shot by the Golem. He's aware that he could get hit for as much as 41 here on a single attack, but of course there's a range, so... And you can always double heal if you're really worried about it. So, he'll be able to take down the Golem here most of the time and get 2 or 3 victories in. There's the flute, so now he can use flute strats on the Golem. And the necklace is in the treasury in Sharlock.
Of course the Golem is guarding the fairy flute. He knows that it's his weakness.
Yeah, and now it's actually I like the play to use the flute in these kind of spots. You're extending your time before you have to go back to an inn. If it falls asleep, it can actually be a fairly quick fight. A lot of people knock flute strats in these kind of grinds, but I like the play here. Like, that was a very quick kill. 1 more for another level, so... Experience is just flowing in for Smashy now.
Yeah, I think finding the fairy flute and taking out this Golem here, that, unlike earlier, is definitely the TSN turning point.
Okay. I will agree. I think things are looking up for Smashy now. So now we're just looking for stats. Maybe you can tell the good people, what sort of stats are we looking for?
Well, you see on the screen here that the numbers are mostly white with a little bit of orange. Once they get to green, that's going to be kind of the target area that they're going to want to go in and take on the Dragon Lord. 120 attack power is not going to be enough for the Dragon Lord. That's why that's still in white. Orange is borderline if some of the others are in the green area. But that agility at level 13 being 56 is just absolutely abysmal.
I was curious which particular adjective you were going to use there. I think abysmal is pretty good.
Well, I am a professional broadcaster. There were certainly a lot of other terms that are not safe for broadcast that I certainly would have used. But out of respect for the Randomania networks, I opted not to utilize them.
Probably for the best. So, Smashy is almost halfway to level 14 now. As we just mentioned, the stats are not even close, so multiple levels likely will be required, so we'll be seeing lots of Golem victories for probably the next 10 or 15 minutes. And yeah, so hit points right around the corner. You're going to want to get into triple digits approximately for hit points. The strength score just needs a little bit more help as well. We actually, I guess on the last few levels, the MP has been kind of on the rise. So he currently has 11 heal mores to work with. So the idea now is you want to be able to defeat the Dragon Lord in fast enough where you only have to use 11 heal mores before, you die. So with these current stats, it would take too long to actually beat the Dragon Lord, so we need to get stronger. And that's the story there. brisulph attempting another count back into the same forest. He was right over here a second ago. I think he was literally right on the same square. So
oh, Bri, you're right there. Search the other spots. For bleep's sake.
It's like, well, maybe the armor's over here in Oxness. Let's go check that out first. Which is a fine play at this point. If you can defeat the Guardian here, it could easily be the armor, and then you're just done. 2 failed counts is infuriating, I feel, for brisulph.
Right, you're right there. Just search a couple of other spots. Don't think that you're one and done. What? I am trying so hard not to curse right now.
Come on, man! Well.
Yeah, come on, man! What the bleep are you doing?
What are you doing? Well, 63 hit points in a golem fight is treacherous. He's gonna go for it. Getting reasonably good rolls. I'm sure he will double heal if necessary. Got a pretty good low roll there from the golem. Gets him with 63 hit points.
That's good.
And he gets the flute. And he's like, darn, where's the armor?
Go back to that first spot. Come on, you were right there. Just move a step over.
By the way, he obviously...
Bleep up, you dumb bleepy bleeper.
He obviously needs to know now that the armor absolutely is on the map, because it's something has to be there. Well, no, I guess, well, geez, the necklace still hasn't been found, right? So maybe he's like, maybe the armor's in Charlock. I'll just grind and just hope the armor's in Charlock. I hope that's not what's going on. Oh, man. Come on, brisulph. Meanwhile, we have another excellent move for Smashy on the golem here. We are 2 golems away from level 14, and we'll see if we get some large boosts for go time. Come on, man. Looks like brisulph is going to stay with this grind for a little while, at least until he gets this level. He's 4 points away. Golem's worth 255, so overkill on the level up, but valuable if he can get it. Takes 42 to the face, but survives. And here we go, Smashy's last victory here before level 14, and we'll see what's happening.
Runner's intentionally trolling commentators? Oh, man. I'm just getting warmed up. Wait until the 11:30 show. You think this one's fun? Oh, man. This is one you'll want to stay up late for.
Good point. We have multiple races still in our future, don't we, tonight? I think there's 2 other races. And you're going to be around for the 11:30 is what I'm hearing? Or the 11?
That is absolutely correct. Z-Man and I are going to be bringing the Keystone Connection to you here, as both of us here from the Keystone State. And we have so much fun, and with the mood that I'm in, oh man, you will not want to miss this. And it's right here on Randomania, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, a little less than 2 hours away. Stick around for it, as it's going to be Jake Hoper taking on Asmati Games.
Well, hopefully this race won't still be going at that point, but I have confidence that we're getting there. We are getting there. What just happened on level 14? We had pretty good strength. So yeah, we have a lot of orange stats now. We're getting close. Hit points aren't quite enough, so we have to get another level for that reason. But yeah, attack power now is 129, offset with 100 MP. We're getting there. And if the agility / defense were better, I would say this would be a great opportunity for Smashy to actually get this level on the way down. But unfortunately, we're actually not defense breaking any enemy in there now. So you'd be taking, you know, quite a bit of damage fighting through some monsters in Charlock. So I think wise play here to stick with the golem grind and really hope for some agility, because if there are a lot of red enemies in Charlock, having 58 agility points is very frustrating.
Yeah, no, for level 14, it was 9 strength, 2 agility, 0 hit points, and 12 magic points.
Yeah, the strength / MP ratio is just about there now. I think, you know, if the other stats were good, we could be going right now. But unfortunately, we don't have enough hit points, and the agility is really just dreadful. Agility is not necessarily required, but yeah, it could make for a really ugly dive if you don't have it.
Oh, and there's a death there from Smashy, and I mean, when it comes to the HP gain, that is a disgusting HP gain, and it's unfortunate that we had that on our air live. That is disgusting. I'm just memeing like crazy at this point. I don't know what else to do.
brisulph, you're making us angry. Another check to the coordinates? Is that what's happening? Are we going to see the old man again? All right. Write it down. Tip for the runners, write down the coordinates on a piece of paper.
To quote the great wrestler and actor The Rock, write it down. You like writing things down.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
so we
also to Pop Angel
south.
FM, because I know he's like doubled over in laughter right now.
14 south,
tracker.
31 east. You have to start off by going west. That's the tricky part. So, I mean, it's not. We're making a joke. It's not actually that easy of a count because you're winding around this water here. But yeah, I mean, he knows approximately where this has to be. He's been down there twice. Yeah, so pick up your count from the other side of the castle. That's a good play there. And then, yeah, we have to go east. Mostly east and a little south. I have confidence. He's going to get it on this attempt here. Repelling a lot of monsters to eliminate the distractions. And closing in on it. While Smashy closes in on level 15.
No, you're no, over to the...
There are only so many tiles here to search. I think he's going to be searching here until he finds it. That's my prediction. Very frustrating when this happens in a race. You know the time's ticking away, so I feel for brisulph here. It's super annoying. But
frustrated isn't even the word for it. I mean, this is... I mean, Bri, you're right. Go to your left!
Your other left.
Yeah, your other left! The American left, not the Canadian left.
Well, 2 more golems for Smashy is going to give him 15, and if he just gets some hit points, it's pretty much go time. I would love to have some agility to go along with that. brisulph is searching all around the forest. He's going to search every single tree.
Going away from the spot! And we'd like to apologize for that. He absolutely knew his microphone was on.
Wait, what just happened there? Oh, the repel just wore off. All right, so he's taking the death in the swamp. We're gonna recount. We got the coordinates written down this time.
This has to be memery on brisulph's part. He is, even if he has a bottle of whiskey inside of him, he has a much better counter than this. I think this is him trolling a little bit. I really do.
I'll let you ask him that in the post-game interview.
Oh, you betcha I will. And that's oh man. I'm adjusting my verbiage because I was going to say something else here.
Alright, meanwhile, we have 15 for Smashy, and a lot of stats are now in the green. Agility is still terrible, but we have 132 attack power offset by 111 MP, which is 1 extra heal more. It's kind of nasty to have to try this dive here, Ferran. You have 1 heal more you can burn, and 66 agility. It's going to depend heavily on what exactly are in the 3 zones throughout Charlock here. If you see a lot of red enemies, specifically the red dragon and the armored knight, this could get ugly.
I feel like this is Bri trolling me because he knew I was going to rage on something like this. I think this is him just sticking it to me
he's
here.
getting
And
the
if it is, oh,
yes. Just for you, Ferran. Princess.
Oh yeah, he knows that I'm trying so hard not to break every FCC rule in the book, and he is pushing me.
So you're saying if the count was like 1,1, he would just go rescue the princess just to mess with you?
I think he might. Yeah, I saw his Discord earlier, and he said he was looking for ways to troll, and I think he has done it, especially knowing that I'm here on commentary. He is going to listen back to this, and he is going to be doubled over in laughter.
That's amazing.
Because of my reactions. Oh, he absolutely is. Oh.
Smashy, by the way, has burned MP on like the 5th step into Charlock and has to just nope out of there. Just burning resources. I didn't catch what happened there. There was some sort of a Star Wyvern. Not sure if we've seen Star Wyvern for the whole seed, so perhaps it had some nasty surprises. He noped out of there right away. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for another level now. The agility score is so bad. But we'll see.
Well, he ran into a blue dragon that kind of roughed him up, and then he got back attacked by the Star Wyvern, and then he got run blocked by the Star Wyvern, and I think it was just a lot. Oh, well, then he got double run blocked by the Star Wyvern, and he ended up just casting a couple of heal mores and was just like, all right, I'm done with it.
Oh no, this is not what you want to see. And he immediately just fight command. So Smashy is just fighting through the red enemies, and we'll see if he wants to use resources or if he's gonna just herb his way out of this. But we're like 3 steps into Sherlock, and you're gonna just burn all your herbs and hope that you don't see any more armored knights in the zone here. I don't know. Oh, what a rough spot.
Oh yeah, this is a bit rough here, but yeah, this is
in a race too. You're so worried that if you get another level, your opponent's just gonna go right past you. So it's like, oh, I really have to try, but it's so ugly. Oh, yeah, low agility is really. Yeah, here's another ambush. Just gonna get ambushed almost every time by these guys, and just run blocked.
Oh yeah, with 66 agility, absolutely. The game is going to rubber band you. That's what it's going to do. It's going to snap a rubber band on your arm, and you're going to flinch, and you're going to hate it.
Yep. I think we're a little under 40% to run each time. So he's deciding to fight. And, you know, if you fight enough of these, you'll eventually get to the next level, right? So it's kind of, you're going both ways here. You're like, well, if I can hold on to the MP, then that's fine. But I'm going to fight, and if for some reason I can't win on this dive, then maybe I'm halfway to the next level anyways. And I'll outside and retry, and eventually we'll get the level. But yeah, there's a lot of armored knights in this zone. It could easily be doubled up in the zone, which, what I mean by that is, like, every zone in the game has 5 monsters, but you can easily have the same monster twice. And in Sherlock, there's only so many monsters that are eligible to be in the zone, so yeah, we could easily just have 2 armored knights in this zone. We're seeing so many of them. Pretty rough luck for Smashy. We're already down to 11 heal mores now, and that is probably not enough to win at this point because there's no buffer with the HP. Yeah, he's just getting out of here. Gotta try again. Maybe we'll see him go back to the golem. Not sure.
Well, I mean, he did get a crit on the blue dragon there for a notable 180 experience.
Game Boy would be proud.
He absolutely would.
Yeah, back to the golem. This is definitely just the professional play here. So Smashy's not getting overly frustrated, not banging his head against the proverbial wall. He's just like, you know what? That's just not going to happen. We're going for 16. And with 16, there's a bunch of ways that could help. I mean, obviously, if you get a ton of agility, that solves the problem. But if you don't, then if you at least just get extra resources, you have 5 or 6 heal mores you can burn on the dive or something, then it doesn't matter so much if it's really nasty. You just burn the resources and you just kind of fumble your way down to the bottom. But yeah, a lot of good things can happen if you just get another level here. And it's only 4 more golems, maybe 5 more golems after the stone man here. So it won't take too long.
Yeah, it's pretty close here. 255 times 4, that is 1,020. So no, he'll need a little bit more after that. No, critting on a golem, that's easy enough.
Yeah. That was like a half a golem encounter, so it's like 4.5 golems required.
Basically.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of MP. This will be just no problem. Just needs to get this done. I like the play. I mean, if you just keep going into Sherlock and you just keep failing the dives, you're just giving your opponent a chance to catch up. And brisulph is choosing for the Stone Man grind because he's still on level 13. I don't know. I think he's got enough to maybe switch over to the golem here. We noted earlier the difference in builds, so he has 84 hit points to work with. I want to say Smashy had 91 hit points at the same level. So at this stage, it starts to be significant, you know, the difference there. And so much so that on level 15, by the way, Smashy has enough hit points to win, and brisulph will not. He will probably be at around 92 or 93 hit points, so he'll be forced to go to 16, whereas Smashy is sort of just like opting to go to 16.
That is certainly a notable difference here, and that's where those various builds tend to come into play.
Yeah, so little does Smashy know about, like, one of the best things that could happen right now is for level 16 to gain no hit points. Because then brisulph will be forced to go to 17, depending on, you know, the other stats. But we're about to find out in one more golem here. Chat's calling out for the quad 0 gain. Which has only been seen once or twice in ever. But, no. Okay, there's some
definitely is not the quad 0. 1, 3, 22, and
actually
1.
kind of the opposite of what Smashy wants now, because that actually doesn't help the cause very much. You didn't gain any agility. It's going to be just as rough in that zone. And I don't think we're that much better off for heal mores. I guess there's one more heal more to work with here. This is not that much better.
14 heal mores, and with 133 attack power, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I guess you can burn 2 heal mores now instead of 1 like before. Ugh. I mean, I guess you have to try.
Yeah, it's close, because, I mean, with the damage range of 8 to 16 on DL2, if you go down there with max MP, you're looking at 14 heal mores. So
yeah, well, I mean, the DL fight's super comfortable. Chat's noting, like, you might even gain a double attack or whatever. It's just that what we saw in that dive, it's not going to be any better this time. You're still going to find a bunch of armored knights, and you're going to have 69 agility, so... All right,
no, absolutely. It's going to be what WWE commentator Jim Ross would call bowling shoe ugly. If you've ever rented bowling shoes, you know what I'm talking about.
I believe we're 2 steps into the dungeon and we have an armored knight.
Of course we are!
So here we go. Nice encounter rate, gets another encounter immediately on the next step. Smashy has got to be swearing to himself right now. He's not happy and he just gets out of there. I mean,
dips out. Of course he does.
What can you do? It's just not much better. That's the exact wrong level. Like, you got hit points and basically that was it. None of that helps the dive. I mean, it's nice to have more hit points for the dive, but not with what he's running into. Okay, maybe he just forgot that he used some herbs. We'll see now. It's possible he's just going back in with more herbs.
So, of note here, the experience differential is about 4,300, a little less than.
Yeah, a typical grind, a good grind would be about 500 points per minute. So we're looking at, I don't know, an 8-minute lead or something. I think this grind is a bit slower than that, though. And I'm not sure what has happened to brisulph. Could be a potential rest stop here. Okay, there he goes. So at like 400 points per minute, it might be more like a 10-minute lead, but with all of this Sharlock shenanigans...
No, I still say that, you know, I'm gonna take a Tecmo Super Bowl line here and say, and there is your dagger. I think this is Smashy's race to lose, I should say.
Oh, he's absolutely in the driver's seat. It just... Is he gonna get through the zones without too many burnt heal mores here? This trip in has been a bit better, so he's actually made it off the first floor with all of his magic. And, you know, the second and the third zones could be friendly, so he just has to get to the next stairway, and you have a new enemy set. So, let's see.
Tries to run. I don't know. I might have fought that wizard there.
Yeah, we
I mean,
are
your
now
defense
defense
breaking
breaking
them.
wizard.
I mean, why not get the free 120? Get you a little closer to level 17.
I guess he is feeling like 16 is it. So far, the second zone's pretty good, so... Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good for Smashy now. He would have to be forced to burn 3 or 4 heal mores, like we mentioned, to get back into the danger zone. Right now, he's still on full magic, so... I think it looks like he had to nope out of 4 or 5 dives, but this one so far is going well.
And brisulph is just in get me as much experience as quickly as possible mode. Because he doesn't realize it, but he's trailing by 3,800 experience.
Yeah, I still think that he should have switched over to the golem by now. When you have an HP in the 80s, it becomes a lot safer to deal with the golem. But yeah, Stone Man is worth, 100 points less than the golem on every victory. So unfortunately, I think it just doesn't have the confidence that the golem is the right play just yet. And Smashy's in the bottom zone.
I think it's also brisulph just, I don't know, maybe realizing that 84 HP is a little borderline, maybe just not feeling that the golem is the way to go.
No treasury check for Smashy. The death necklace is somewhere in Charlock, but not interested.
With 123 HP, it's not exactly beneficial, so yeah. If it was 133, maybe you'd see a check, but anything under 130, you generally don't see that here. And oh, there's a golem.
Wow, this is a really good place where you do want to use the flute. You just don't really want to be taking unnecessary damage leading into the Dragon Lord fight. So put that golem to sleep. Hope for good sleep luck. He knows what abilities the golem has. He's fought a whole bunch of them, so full confidence, gets through with full resources, and Smashy is at least 99% to win this fight coming up here. This was a really good race all the way until brisulph just had trouble getting the last locations. Just couldn't find Caitlyn as fast, and therefore just couldn't get his way to the armor as quickly as Smashy was able to.
Well, and then had struggles getting to the location as well. I mean, there were, what, 3 attempts to get to the search spot?
Yep, that tops it off for sure. But it just took him a lot longer to get into position where he could collect the armor. Where they both were like lockstep through the whole run, found basically everything else in a similar manner, and for some reason Caitlyn eluded brisulph. And that was it. Smashy took off from there, didn't look back, made the wise play of getting the extra level when 15 just wasn't working. And it's going to be rewarded.
Well, to answer the question in chat, there are 2 races that started at 10 p.m. Eastern. One on Randomania 2, the other on Randomania 3. The other will be right here. There's a 3rd race coming up in about 96 minutes from now here on Randomania. Myself and Z-Man050778 will be here on the call.
Yeah, this is what I was curious about. So 15 for brisulph. He only has 93 hit points. I think Smashy had 101 on this level, and that's why Smashy was going into Charlock. But for brisulph, he's got no decision. He's got to keep going. So strength agility build is kind of backfiring in this particular seed.
And he takes the death here, and this is probably the proverbial waving of the white flag.
Any attack from here could do it for Smashy. He should have several heal mores remaining at the end of this fight. And there it is.
There is 11.
All right, GG's to Smashy, your round 1 winner here in the 2021 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. Let's see if he wants to pop in for a few words while brisulph continues. Tracker noting the official time there was 1 hour 34 and 3 seconds for Smashy, just over 1.5 hours on a seed that had a bunch of challenges. So, you know, pretty solid time for a seed like that. brisulph is pausing and potentially maybe is continuing. Nice, maybe some GGs in race rooms, and now he's going to continue into Sherlock. He's going to maybe try it on 15 with 93 hit points and a lot more agility than Smashy had on level 15, notably. And now he's going to continue into Sherlock. He's going to maybe try it on 15 with 93 hit points and
looks like we are joined in here. I can hear a little bit of an echo, so I think Smashy has joined us here. GG. And what a heck of a seed. Looks like we are joined in here as I can hear.
So yeah, originally I thought this
so I think
was
Smashy
using
has joined
the
us here.
new logic
GG.
where you don't necessarily you can have a swamp under Tantagel and not necessarily have Rimuldar on the first continent, and then I discovered it's single continent.
Yeah, I had suspected that. I remember Furon said, like, oh, did he get to this location from a different direction? And we were kind of wondering if it turned out to be single continent. So, yeah, nice to be able to recognize that. I think one of the keys was towards the end there, where you were trying to get into Sherlock on level 15, and the agility score was just so bad.
Yeah, I think I got like 4 armor knights on the way to revealing the secret passage, and at that point, like, no, I'm going to go get 16.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, if you had just kept trying and trying and trying, I mean, eventually he could overtake you if you're not successful. So it's tough when to make that decision. Like, I am going to take the extra 5 minutes to get the level, but I think it was the best play there, and it's nice that you were able to do it.
I mean, it didn't help that the grinds were pretty awkward as well. It was Golem Snowman, and I never do Snowman grinds unless they're like stop spell hurt, so had to deal with the Golem.
Yeah, and for a long time the Golem wasn't even really beatable. It was funny. I think you were like in grind and go basically, and there was just nothing for you to do. Like you couldn't really beat a Guardian because you had like 40 hit points, but you had everything. So it's like a weird situation.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna... At least the overworld was polite enough.
It looked like you were wandering around looking for something at that stage when you already had everything, and I was wondering if you were just looking for a zone to grind in, or... I don't know.
I think level 11, I was trying to get back up to Swamp Cave to see how the Stoneman was going to fare, but I was trying to also preserve the wings in case we suddenly got a massive spike in stats and we didn't get return, because at level 11, I'm pretty sure we didn't have return, and I was already, as you said, in grind and go, so at that point I wanted to have the safety wings on hand, just in case.
Okay, yeah, all that makes sense. It was just interesting. It looked like you were looking around for something, but then I realized, well, there's nothing really for him to do because you can't really beat anything that could be in Hawk's Nest or in this Swamp Cave because you have like 40 hit points. It's just a really unusual, like, what do you even do at that point? So you found enough overworld monsters to get like 1 or 2 more levels, and finally you got like 25 hit points or something, and that enabled you to at least try the Golem for a little while.
Yeah, I did have to use a bunch of Fairy Flute on it, though. Which, it doesn't feel good, but at the end of the day, it's 255. It works.
Yeah, what else happened in this seed, Furon? I think you started off really quickly. You went and found I think on level 3 or 4, you went way out there and found the key out of the cave there. And interestingly, brisulph found it pretty quickly as well, but it was pretty early exploration that really paid off for you guys.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a gamble across the board. I mean, Bry had taken a little bit of a lead finding the key and then taking a couple of keys out of the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave and then getting Erdrick's sword. But I think... I don't know what exactly where the difference was. Maybe Bry taking a few more gambles than you had.
I feel like Smashy found the key first, but you only got one key out of there or something, and then found a red dragon, is what I remember. And
Yeah, I figured I could just go back there, and then I took the sword, and it's just like, hey, I'm gonna just park myself in that zone with the wolves and the Drakimas that was doing like 3 to 4 before. Oh wait, now I do double digits and 2-shot them and all that good stuff.
oh, I mean, when you find a really early key like that by doing some really early exploration, it leads directly to the sword. You have to be feeling good when that happens. brisulph is hanging out over in the beaches of Charlock here, Ferran. I think he's trolling you again.
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do.
So what else happened in that seed, Smashy? What else can you tell us?
That one time I went south and found almost everything was pretty fun.
It must be nice. Yeah, from up here, it seemed, actually, when you watch it, it was very close for a long time. You guys both found, the stones and the token pretty quick. You had the sword. And then you found Caitlin, and he just couldn't find Caitlin for whatever reason. So that led you to the armor eventually, and he had some trouble getting to the armor. Just kind of spiraled out from there. But the first, 40 minutes, it was really a toss-up from here.
Yeah, I know brisulph hasn't ran Dragon Warrior for a while, so good to hear that it was that close, and hopefully he'll be able to bounce back from this and do a bit better. Sometimes you just... But yeah, I can feel that. Sometimes you just miss that one thing and, it just happens to lead to armor. I have been a victim of that more times than I wish to have been a victim to that.
Yeah, I think the way things worked out for you, you found Caitlin before you found Garanham. So when you got the harp in Garanham, I think that was your last thing. You didn't even have to go into the grave, although
I just
wanted
wanted the gold grind.
Although
I ran into a little bit of a problem in that I went in there and then I realized, wait a second, the top floor zone actually wasn't that deadly, so I had to dive, and then I hit 2 pretty weak monsters. Like, am I actually going to be able to get a death warp? And then, well, Red Dragon happened, turned on the repel.
That's why you were diving in there. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't blame you with the terrible agility score. I guess it makes a lot of sense to just go for that silver shield, because, I mean, you had everything else, so... It's, yeah, what a weird seed with the way that you guys had all the items and you still only had 40 hit points, so...
I mean,
so rare.
If it's available,
on version 2.2.1? No, go on.
Challenge mode.
Yeah, I really value the silver shield if I don't have to go really far out of my way for it. I really value the silver shield when the repel in dungeons flag is on, because most of the time you will get that 86-88 defense, and you can fairy water on the way down and just get a whole lot less encounters, and that just makes the dive go a whole lot faster. Didn't happen to see, but usually that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it may have helped you with your golem grinding a little bit, just to have a little bit, more defense. Usually, like you said, the value of the silver shield isn't even necessarily for the defense, but in this one, it seemed like it probably did help.
I mean, the value is in the defense in the way that you get to repel a bunch more stuff.
Right, right. We were taking just a couple of points less from every golem swing. And yeah. So I don't know what just happened on brisulph's screen, but he's back at the castle. It's kind of an infuriating run from his perspective. He had a really hard time with his count, I guess, like you said. If he just is rusty and he hasn't played for, several months, that's one of the skills that may become a little rusty. He just he couldn't count out those coordinates.
Yeah, it was like, for the most part, this scene was just like, we got the sword, and then the way I routed, I kept getting like the rare appearance of actual mid-tier enemies on the overworld that I could happily just two-shot most of them, and that was actually fun for once.
What is brisulph doing right now, Ferran? You probably have good analysis.
Bry had an issue with the Stone Man where he just, I don't know, he initially tried to run and it didn't quite work out, and
so
then
he's intentionally hitting the fast forward button, by the way, on stream, it seems like, because he's probably planning on forfeiting at some point if he hasn't already. I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen it in racetime.gg because I tried looking there and I got nothing. So
okay,
I don't know. I think he's just trolling everybody at this point.
Yeah, at 15. So not sure if Smashy's aware, but brisulph ran the strength agility build, so 15 is not even an option for brisulph. He's got 93 hit points. I think Smashy had 101 hit points on that level. So he is kind of slowly working his way towards 16, but he seems to be taking a lot of detours. He's maybe heading in there now. He's heading into Sharlock now. Okay. Eventually, he'll get to 16 and see if he can dive from there. Guess he'll have more like 113 hit points, 114, something like that, instead of 123. So a little bit less chance for double attacks, but you had... I know, Smashy, I think you finally made it down there like with full resources, so you had like 4 heal mores.
Yeah, like I said, I got like 4 armor knights on the first, well, the quote-unquote first attempt, and then when I actually went for the win, it was like 2 armor knights the entire way, even though they wound up being in 2 zones. It's like, okay.
I don't know. I've run out of things to say. What is happening? Is brisulph continuing?
I mean, he is, but in a very deliberate fashion. All right, he's running away from the Drakey or Drakema there. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't even know if he knows what he's doing. Oh, wait a minute. Well, I think we might be done here. Oh, wait, nope.
I'll leave it to you, Ferran, if we're throwing it to somebody or whatever. I feel like brisulph's just kind of doing his own
what the
thing.
heck's going on here? Just because I'm used to brisulph's trollage doesn't mean I know what he's doing. I'm just kind of watching and calling it as I see it here. He's facing a druid here. He's running away from it. Oh, and there's a demon knight, and he's going to run away from that. Obviously, brisulph's thinking, I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
I mean, it's just that the run is just not going to be valid if the fast forward button keeps getting hit. So I don't... It's hard to know what to
I
comment
think this
on
is
now.
just... I think this is just brisulph just absolutely giving a level of trollage here. I know that he's been very vocal about things here, and I have a feeling that after this week here, this may be the last that we see of him. And I will put it to the administrators here, where if that's the case, I might be taking his place here, even though I didn't enter the tournament.
We're gonna get you into the tournament one way or the other.
Yeah, people have been trying to get me into this doggone thing one way or another. As reluctant as I have been to enter this thing, as Bry gets a critical hit, a Kaisha no Ichigeki. And I don't know, people, I mean, do you want Brisulph's kind of trollage, or do you want whatever kind of trollage I'm going to bring to the mix? It's kind of a pick your proverbial poison, as Bry runs away from the Stone Man here and decides to use a regular heal. Interesting.
I mean, you have the MP for it on 15. Level 16, not so much, because you get that one MP and it's like suddenly, oh, we have another heal more, but we don't have any spare MP.
Oh, Brian knows he's kind of in the proverbial creek without a paddle here, as he has provided a comment here in chat saying accidental fast forward apologies here. I'll leave that to your determination as to how accidental it was.
I'm not an administrator. I don't know these.
Oh, neither am I. I'm a different word that begins with an A, but that's I'll leave that to your imagination there.
I feel like there was at least one other runner that had expressed interest in a late entry to the tournament. So if brisulph doesn't give up his spot, I wonder if you could get matched up with him or something. I don't know. There's still a chance.
If I know.
We're gonna get you in here.
People want to get me in here. I have no idea why. I mean, I'm kind of okay at this game, but I am nowhere to the level of Name Redacted and Name Redacted here, who are probably going to make it into the Final Four. But, I mean, yeah, I raced on Sunday night and finished 12th out of 16th. So I don't know why you want to see me in this tournament other than my apparent entertainment value, I guess. Whether it be during the race or after the race, what is Burgundy going to say?
Man,
oh, no. He's a loose cannon. What is he going to say?
Who are those other 4 people, Ferran? Oh, my goodness. 12th out of 16, those 4 people.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I lucked out against those. But, yeah, they know that I'm a broadcaster and I know what to say and what not to say. And they know that I can kind of walk along that line of decency. So what is Burgundy going to say that's going to anger people, but also not get him kicked out of things here? I can feel the beads of sweat on people like Angel FM and Cyberdark 86 and High Spirits, who just know that, man, Burgundy knows how to use the microphone in just that borderline kind of way. What kind of nonsense is he going to say?
Meanwhile, there's actually a possibility here that brisulph will attempt the Dragon Lord fight with 93 hit points. It's been done before.
Yeah, shades of Jay Coper, who we're going to see a little bit later tonight, right here on this channel, a little more than an hour from now. The ever charismatic Jay Coper. He'll be bringing you a race here coming up against Asmati Games at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/randomania, as brisulph blows the fairy flute, is going to take on the Jay Colum. See, I'm thinking Jay Coper in my mind here. Is going to take on the Golem.
You know what? Jay Coper was actually the runner I was thinking of that was trying to get into the tournament, so never mind, you might be out, Ferran. If he's already in, then I don't know how else we're going to get you in.
No worries. I've been out for 23 years. It's not an issue. That's a rainbow joke, folks.
Oh, very nice. Well, the Golem goes down in flames here. So he actually still has... Time. Yeah. What do we have here? We have like 13 heal mores. I mean, it all comes down to the 93 hit points. What? It's possible. You got to get some nice friendly rolls from the Dragon Lord, though.
Well, I don't know. I see brisulph here in chat. He said, hit fast forward. Apparently, he's going to get DQ'd for it. Frustration isn't allowed after you lose. I don't know. I've had plenty of frustration here in the booth. Well, then again, I haven't exactly lost. And I've had quite a few things to say after I've lost. So I don't know how accurate that is, but maybe it's because I'm a professional broadcaster who's been on actual radio. So
Yeah.
maybe I've been given a little bit of leeway.
To be fair, the thing that happened to brisulph with continuously failing to count is definitely one of the most frustrating things that can happen in this game. It's like just infuriating. So I'm totally
it
with
is.
him on that.
Frustrated isn't even the word for it. I mean, it's. Well, I don't know if I can say what exactly it is, but I mean, so much injustice. I've had it up to here as I point to my forehead.
Well, here we go. 93 hit points.
Let's
And
give
he's
it a go
attacking.
here.
And we have a physical, so we're still in there. We need to see a lot of physicals and not so many 48 damage fire breaths. Oh, there's a 47 physical.
27. So he's got a good start going on here. Some high rolls.
Large shield, by the way, for brisulph, so he can get hit physically for a large number, 51-ish.
All right, well, he's up to 58. DL2 has anywhere between 50 or 150 and 165. Another low roll of 11.
Swinging on 45. Here we go. 50-50 with the fire breath. He survives.
Oh, and he survives!
Survives.
What a gutsy play!
Swinging on 50. Watch out for the physical. He survives. All right, we're still in this. What are we doing on 47? So this time he double heals.
Heal more, understandably so.
Oh, now he's in a worse spot.
Gosh, game.
Oh. 2 in a row. Now he's in danger of running out of resources.
Snapping that rubber band. Mel Blanc would be proud. All right, here we go.
I'm no longer counting accurately, but I feel like 2 double heals is putting him in the danger zone. Maybe he has some hurt more aspirations towards the end. He might still be in it.
Feels like he's gotten a lot of attacks. Oh, he's risking on 47 now.
Oh, he's got to at some point, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Double heal twice. I mean, I think the numbers were close to start the fight.
This is some Tom Cruise Top Gun here. Highway to the danger zone.
Well, if he goes for it on 46, survives
and he survives.
He gets punched for 44.
Yep.
This is the size of grapefruits right here.
It's like 30 or 40% chance of death every time he swings on 46 here. And he survives again.
Well, but this point, just hold on.
My goodness.
Now it's a matter of did he burn too many resources on the double healing? But no, he gets it.
No, he didn't. He gets it.
Sub 2 hours for brisulph. Very nice.
brisulph with grapes the size of grapefruits. Go ahead and give your GGs here to brisulph, who, despite all the memeing and trolling, is going to. Oh wait, where the heck is he going now? Oh, he's going for a little victory treasury here.
Oh, he's earned it. The treasure should be given, right?
To the victor goes the spoils, you doggone right. He's going to go through the king's room. He's going to talk to the king here. Hurrah, hurrah, long live brisulph. Thou hast brought us peace again. He is just memeing it for all it is worth, and I can't say as I blame him. And
that was
talking
hilarious.
From every doggone side, and there it is.
Oh, now King Lorica waits.
King Lorica waits. Waylon wanting to go with. Of course, he's going to define, get the but thou must on a couple of occasions here, and it's going to get the official yes at an unofficial time of 1 hour and 58 minutes. He is going to fall to Smashy here.
All right. I would say that he burned enough time doing all that it makes up for the fast forwarding, but we'll leave that to other people.
Absolutely. I think that was exactly a balance. It most certainly was.
GG's to brisulph. Nice to finish that out after some frustrations in the late game there. it was very even for the first 45 minutes. Like, that race really could have gone either way. And
just Cantlin and the coordinates with the armor being the total outlier. We'll see if brisulph wants to join us here in the booth. If not, I'm sure you can watch his stream at some point, and I'm sure he and I will have some dialogue as to his overall race in a non-broadcast friendly format. We'll put it at that.
Certainly possible. One more thing for Smashy, you are now 1-0 in the overall tournament, and you'll be facing another 1-0 opponent next week. Any comments about that? Although,
I'm still here for now. Well, that's that's the plan. I'll face the 0-1, and hopefully after that I'll face a 2-0, and then hopefully after that I'll face a 3-0. But that's probably not going to happen at some point because, well, I'm probably going to just miss or something horribly. Hello, brisulph.
I did my usual when I get frustrated doing a drag or randomizer. I hit fast forward. Hopefully I won't be disqualified for an accidental hit of that. And then I did it twice and I realized I'm in a race and I'd already lost at that point, but I felt horrible.
Either way, the L is the L.
Hold on. And that's what the pausing was, because I was double checking to make sure my microphone wasn't hot. And for the first time all night I spoke and I said, "Aw figs, this is fragging terrible. I feel horrible about doing that." So
I'm sure that's exactly what you said.
Oh, I'm sure it is as well. Well,
for real. I was worried my microphone was open. I spoke it in such a manner, and I felt awful about it. And despite the fact I was kidding on my Discord I was going to troll, the game trolled me, and it didn't go well. And I saw Smashy finished, and I'm like, okay. And then I just did the usual, well, this is not going well, and I hit fast forward, and I feel awful. Hopefully they'll allow me to continue in the tournament. If not, they can let, I think Burgundy's not in, or somebody who's more popular than Burgundy, but I hope they'll consider to let me continue, because despite the fact this went terrible,
Ferran said
I would like to be involved.
Ferran said he hopes they kick you out so that he can take your place. I'm pretty sure that's what
you
said.
You know
that's
what?
not true!
Whoa, hold on a minute. Ferran and I hang out all the time. 100% that is inaccurate. Ferran would not have said that. He would have said, absolutely, 100%. I hope they kick that stupid Kanukistan bugger out of here. That's what he would have said. True story.
That's also not true. Wow. I haven't heard this many lies since our previous president here in the United States, but that's a whole nother song. Wow, I'm going to totally get kicked off of here after that.
Obama didn't lie that much. What are you talking about?
Oh, goodness. No, I said if for some reason... Man, we've got people, we've got administrators tugging at their collars now, going, "Oh God, Burgundy is Burgundy is
filling
done."
Time until the 11:30. I think we're just gonna keep the stream rolling till 11:30.
Hey, listen, I will sit here and talk for an hour if I have to, but more importantly,
oh gosh, so will I.
Guys, 11:30. There's a race coming up. Okay, it's
Jay Coper and his modded games.
Jay Coper and his modded games.
The ever-charismatic Jay Coper and his modded games.
Who's actually doing the 11:30 stream? Let's actually talk about this. Promote.
It's right here on Randomania. You don't have to go anywhere, although we're probably going to raid somebody else here, so that way Brian and I don't have to stall for 56 minutes and potentially ruin our careers.
What careers? I work in retail.
Okay, well, I have a broadcast career, so I guess I'm already ruining it.
Good job.
I ruin everything.
Thank you for
bleep it.
Thank you for having me, and hopefully they're not going to be like, "Yo, we are going to, by the rule of law, Olympic you out of here," because I feel awful about that fast forward. So I apologize.
Games just Angel FM saying we're aware. So yes, they know that we'd like to apologize for that. That we absolutely have our microphones on. And we're both going to catch heat behind the scenes because that's what we do.
That does sound like me, yes. But I'm actually being the contritionist right now, okay? Montreal Canadiens, don't draft me in the first round. I need a year off here, okay?
Yeah, you'll go to the Quebec Nordiques. That's what it'll be.
No, I'm not traveling in time. What do you think I am? A magician?
No? Well, if you were a magician, then I don't know. You might actually be able to win this. Oh, heck, I don't know.
Hey, Zarnax, I would not put anything past anybody in this universe. If they want a power trip and DQ a loss, well, that's their business, and I will just sit back here and go. That's me applauding.
I mean,
on my
I
forearm.
saw the fast forward and I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, I mean
it's
exactly.
already- it's
0-1
already
is
decided
0-1 no
anyways.
matter how it is. Whether you get pinned, whether you get, whether you submit, whether you get counted out, whether you get disqualified. Yes, I'm using wrestling terms. If you don't like it, I've got 2 words for you.
Go elsewhere?
Exactly.
I will say this. I will say congratulations to Smashy on going to 1-0. I hope you do well in the next round. I was all like, oh, I'm going to forfeit. I don't want to play. But, despite the fact I haven't played this game in like 5 months, according to the most recent randomized ROM I had in my folder, I still had fun despite the game being horrible to me for the most part, and the fact I can't count, that also didn't help. But that's regardless of the fact.
Oh yeah,
this tournament is fantastic.
Watch that back,
guys.
you'll love my commentary toward that.
I don't think I'm going to revisit this one for some reason.
No, you're not.
Ferran was very cool, calm, and collected while you were counting out the coordinates.
Regardless of that, I will tell anyone
even-keeled.
Anyone who's still hanging around.
That sounds like more lies.
Check out this tournament because it's a good tournament because there's a lot of good players in this particular gaming community. Y'all check it out and enjoy it because there's going to be some crazy good close matchups, especially when people don't play strength agility, Jack.
You'll be glad to know, Bri, that I got in touch with my inner Wally Bachman on your coordinate count.
Yeah, I don't get that reference.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Please. The classic coach there of what did he coach for? The Georgia Peanuts, I believe it was.
I don't recall, but regardless, we should do a raid, guys. Listen, real talk. Okay, Burgundy. As much as I would like to talk about that, let's talk about the fact that they're going to do a raid to somebody, but you should come back here at about 11:30. There's another race coming up.
About an hour from now. Yep.
Yeah, 11:30. There's going to be a race. So go with the raid, hang out, chill, recompose, watch whatever the raid is, and then come back at 11:30. We've got another Dragon Warrior Randomizer race coming at you. It's going to be sweet.
It is, because Z-Man and I are going to ruin everything.
Oh, are you commentating again?
Oh, you doggone betcha I am.
Whoa, watch that language there. You almost hit PG-8.
There's a bunch of links in chat there, everyone. You can you can click on the various links for our runners, our awesome restreamer that's putting up with all this, Elmore St. James. Thank you for the restream. Angel FM doing nice work behind the scenes with tracking.
And not cursing me out, surprisingly.
I'm going to let Ferran take this out, but yeah, click all those links, follow all the people, and thanks
except
to the
me. Except don't ever follow me.
Don't follow brisulph.
That's right.
That's not true either. No, he does great stuff on Tecmo Super Bowl. You should absolutely.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to burn my cartridge because it's possessed, but that's neither here nor there. Come back at 11:30. Great races. 50 minutes from now. Do it. Love you guys. See you next week. I hope, and if not, they'll have someone better to replace me. We'll see what happens. Love you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much to everybody behind the scenes here in the DWR community, who, if nothing else, have put up with me here on commentary because you've definitely seen a darker shade of burgundy over the course of the evening. But thank you so much. We're going to take it over to Randomania 2 or 3 as we've got a pair of races that started about 40 minutes ago. But come back here, or we're going to Randomania 2, as I'm being told by our tracker, Angel FM, who is one of our tournament administrators as well, and one of the other people who haven't given me the old twist between the legs. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll be back here in about 50 minutes. Until then, I'm Ferran Burgundy. For all of us here in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you in about 50 minutes.
They have to be classy first.
All right, thank you, Smashy. See, the apparently to the victor goes the spoils, and he's spoiling some verbiage as well. Thank you so much. We'll see you here in about 50 minutes. Yep, you did got me. Exactly. Got him! Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll go over to Randomania 2. We'll be back here, Z-Man and I, for the Jake Hoper Asmati Games match coming up in 50 minutes. Stay classy, my friends. Stay safe, and have a good night.